We just found out moments ago that Betsy DeVos was selected as Secretary of Education. President-elect Trump releasing a statement that says, quote, Betsy DeVos is a brilliant and passionate education advocate. Under her leadership, we will reform the U.S. education system and break the bureaucracy that is holding our children back so that we can deliver world-class education and school choice to all families. Betsy DeVos just tweeted this. She said, I am honored to work with the president-elect on his vision to make America great again. The status quo in ed is not acceptable. I want to bring back our panel now. Carol Lee, White House reporter for the Wall Street Journal, David Nakamura, reporter for the Washington Post, and Jackie Kucinich, CNN political analyst with the Daily Beast. All right. So this announcement of Betsy DeVos, she's someone who's a charter school advocate, and you have Donald Trump, who has vowed to eliminate Common Core. And a lot of people care about this, Jackie, because they have kids in school and they wonder how maybe federally mandated standards are going to affect their kids. So who is in favor of this, and who's really worried that Betsy DeVos will be the Secretary of Education, very likely?
Well, I'm sure the NEA isn't terribly pleased about this, but this is very much in line with what Donald Trump was discussing when he did discuss education reform. It's very much in line with what he talked about. So it's not that much of a surprise, because remember who else he had there. He had Michelle Rhee, also a charter school advocate and someone who was very controversial right here in the District of Columbia when she served in the D.C. government. So we kind of knew this was going this way.
That he wants someone who will shake things up,
yes.
Basically. Okay. All right. So I want to talk now about conflicts of interest with Donald Trump. He has obviously so many business interests in so many countries. You have Democrats, you have Republicans who are raising concerns about this. He actually owns or is part of more than 500 companies, and about 150 of them have done business in countries overseas. He's brushing off concerns. Is he right that Americans don't care?
No, I think Americans do care. They elect public officials who are supposed to serve not for their own personal gain. And whenever there's questions like that for somebody in elected office, of course, Americans definitely care. I think the question that Donald Trump needs to answer relatively soon is what he's going to do about this, because if he doesn't do something to address these concerns, this is going to be the narrative of his entire presidency.
Yeah, it's going to be a big distraction. I mean, whether he likes it or not, doesn't want to talk about it. Yesterday at the New York Times, he tried to imply that the owner of the paper, Arthur Schulzberger, has his own children as part of the job. But that's a private business, and no one has a problem with that. This is something where are they going to be part of his cabinet? Are they part of his informal advisors? Are his children? Are they going to have a role in foreign policy, as he suggested, or even his son-in-law on Middle East peace? I mean, these are big questions. And then, of course, all of the business interests around the world. You've already seen the social media images of him meeting with Indian businessmen who are building a Trump hotel. So
taking a photo with them, which was public, and then later deleted because obviously it didn't look good.
Absolutely, I think that Carol's absolutely right. The media is going to go full bore on this, and it's a Republican congressman oversee. We're already promising investigations in Hillary Clinton even before the election. Now, whether the Republicans will do the same with Trump, we don't know, but certainly Democrats are already sounding those alarms.
And you can say, Jackie, and we saw this, and I'm not comparing these exactly, but I think we can see some similarities here with the Clinton Foundation. Even Bill Clinton admitted that people may have been trying to curry favor, or institutions or countries may have been trying to do that. So all may be well that Donald Trump and his children who run the Trump organization say, we're not trying to do anything, but it doesn't matter, because we already see people flocking to his hotels, trying to be a part of this. This is what happens. People will come out of the woodwork. Corporations, countries will come out of the woodwork.
Which is why, to Carol's point, there needs to be something done to address this soon, because the appearance of impropriety can be just as bad as actual impropriety. And not only are people flocking to his hotel, they brought in foreign diplomats or foreign entities to encourage them to have their delegations there. That's troubling. It is.
And what about this Washington Post report, Carol, about the self-dealing that according to David Fahrenthold's reporting, the Trump Foundation even admits that it used money from the foundation to basically pay for something that enriches either the foundation or basically Donald Trump. And we don't know exactly what they're talking about, but it could be something like the fact that the foundation used $20,000 to purchase a portrait of Donald Trump, or Donald Trump used that money. Why is that a concern? Why is that such a big concern going into the presidency?
Because again, it's not something that Americans expect from certainly their president. And I think the risk for Donald Trump in this is, again, if he doesn't deal with these sorts of issues, you're going to have a Congress, the Democrats in Congress, who really continue to bring this up. You've already seen a letter sent to Donald Trump's lawyer asking for more, from Democrats asking for more information about this. And it's just going to keep feeding on itself and become a risk. And he's taking over as president at a time when people want him to focus on the economy. There's a ton of challenges overseas in terms of foreign policy, and this would be a huge distraction.
And my colleague, David Farenthal's reporting, has shown that the Trump Foundation used Trump Foundation money, charity money, to settle lawsuits against the Trump organization.
Not his money, by the way.
Right.
This is he didn't donate for years and years.
Right, so that's scandalous. And the latest report that came out yesterday that you were referencing also talked about the fact that in the 2015 tax filings for the foundation, they did acknowledge a self-dealing and that it might have been improper, but also acknowledge it from past years, which they had not declared in previous filings. And so that also suggests it's like a practice, repetitive. And then also that hadn't been disclosed until now that some of these things are coming out now that he's...
Donald Trump talks about his slogan right now is drain the swamp. Democrats are probably very eager to dust off culture of corruption, which is something that they used effectively in other election cycles. So they have to be very careful about this and just be transparent and have these bright lines.
And he has to be careful because he has a Republican Congress. He will have a Republican Congress. That may not always be the case. Jackie, David, Carol, thank you guys so much. Let's talk about Iraq because there's a big story coming out of the country.